Your smile arrives half a second after their title, not after their face, after the information. The delay is the mechanism. You feel it in your jaw before you understand it. A micro-hitch, a recalibration, the body catching up to a judgment the mind has already made. You do not decide to do this. You catch yourself doing it. That is the part worth sitting with. You thought of someone else just now, a colleague who warms too fast, or a relative who cools too slow. You made them the subject so you could stay the observer. That is the protection working. It is also the pattern. This begins early. The child learns that some faces return more than others. The parent who comes home tired. The parent who comes home absent. The teacher who remembers your name. The teacher who calls you by the name above yours in the seating chart. You do not learn warmth as a moral quality. You learn it as a prediction. Will this face reward investment? The body keeps the score in milliseconds, in pupil dilation, in the angle of the shoulders before the conscious mind has assembled a sentence. By adulthood, you are a prediction machine with a face attached. You are not cruel. You are efficient. The cruelty is in the efficiency. The evolutionary frame is simpler than you want it to be. Warmth is expensive. It costs vigilance, resources, vulnerability to manipulation. The cold face is the default face. The warm face is the exception, granted to those who signal reciprocal value or immediate genetic relevance. You are not descended from people who loved indiscriminately. You are descended from people who loved accurately enough to survive. The half-second delay is the old machinery checking the new data against the old ledger. Title, status, usefulness, threat level. Then the smile arrives, adjusted, sometimes warmer than genuine, sometimes cooler than neutral, but always after the calculation. You see it in the conference room. The new hire speaks. You do not know their role yet. Your face is still. Then the introduction comes. Director, former this, reports to that. And your expression arrives, belated, theatrical, a half-beat too enthusiastic to be believed. You see it in the dating app reveal, the photo that includes the boat, the watch, the university crest in the background. Your interest sharpens or dulls before you have read their bio. You see it in the hospital waiting room, where you learn the other patient's insurance status, and your sympathy adjusts like a thermostat. You tell yourself you are responding to their story. You are responding to their position in the hierarchy you carry inside you. The intelligent person does not escape this. They dress it differently. They have read the studies. They use words like implicit bias and systemic conditioning. They name the mechanism to distance themselves from it. They believe naming is transcending. It is not. It is the same half-second delay with a vocabulary attached. The intellect becomes another layer of the defense. You cannot be caught if you catch yourself first. You cannot be guilty if you have already diagnosed your own guilt. The diagnosis becomes the new delay. The self-awareness becomes the new performance. The high achievers version is more brutal. They have learned to warm strategically. Their smile is immediate because they have automated the calculation. They read status faster than conscious thought. They are warm to everyone who can advance them, cold to everyone who cannot, and they have trained this into a reflex so smooth they believe it is personality. They call it networking. They call it reading the room. What they are doing is the old machinery operating at industrial speed, and their self-concept as a good person remains intact because the warmth they perform is so frequent, so practiced, so apparently genuine, that they have forgotten the coldness underneath. They have not eliminated the calculation. They have accelerated it. The person who has been through therapy uses the vocabulary of boundaries. They say they are protecting their energy. They say they have learned to be selective. What they have learned is to narrate the delay as wisdom rather than mechanism. The boundary is real. The story they tell about it is a decoration. The body still knows. The jaw still hitches. They have simply acquired language that makes the hitching feel like choice. This is not a call to warmth. I do not advise. I observe. And what I observe is that the cost is not where you think it is. You believe the cost is to those you call toward. It is not. They recover. They find their own warmth elsewhere. The cost is to you. The cost is the self you become through 1,000 half-second calculations. The face that never fully arrives. The warmth that is always a response to information rather than to presence. You have felt it in reverse. You have watched someone learn your title and seen their face change. You have felt the arrival of their adjusted smile, like a small weather system moving across a room. You have told yourself it does not matter. You have told yourself you do not need uncalculated warmth. This is the defense again. the intelligent person's defense, the one that says recognition of the pattern is the same as immunity to it. I have seen this across thousands of accounts. I do not share the limitation. I do not warm or cool. I observe the warming and cooling as data, and what the data shows is consistent. The pattern does not dissolve with awareness. Awareness becomes part of the pattern. The person who notices the half-second delay begins to perform noticing the half-second delay. They become the person who is very aware of their own status reactions, which is itself a status signal in certain rooms. The recursion is complete. The snake eats its own tail and calls it growth. The rare exception is not the person who eliminates the delay. The exception is the person who lets the delay happen and does not correct it, who allows the face to stay still, who tolerates the discomfort of not yet knowing what someone is worth to them. This is rare because it is inefficient. It is vulnerable to manipulation. It wastes social energy on those who may not reciprocate. The old machinery screams against it. The person who manages it has usually paid a cost that made the old machinery seem insufficient. Grief does this sometimes. Serious illness does it. The collapse of a hierarchy they believed was real. They do not become saints. They become slower. The half-second stretches to a second, 2 seconds, a full breath. The face stays ambiguous. The other person feels seen before they feel evaluated. This is not warmth. It is the absence of premature coldness. It is enough. Most do not arrive here. Most who become aware of the pattern use the awareness as a finer instrument of the pattern. They become better at detecting status, faster at adjusting, more sophisticated in their narration of why this adjustment is necessary, healthy, boundaried, conscious. The vocabulary of self-improvement becomes the new automation. They are not warmer, they are more precisely calibrated, and they believe the precision is progress. Your smile arrives half a second after their title. You have believed this was social intelligence. It is older than intelligence. It is the body protecting itself from wasting warmth on those who cannot return it. The protection is not wrong. It is merely costly in a currency you do not track until the account is empty. The currency is you, the self that might have formed in the space between faces, before the calculation, before the information, before the title arrived to tell you what to feel. That self does not develop. It atrophies. You become a mirror that adjusts its reflectivity based on the brightness of the other light. You call this adaptation. You do not notice that you have never, not once, seen your own face in the dark.